Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, today is one of those videos that I love bringing to you because it's something that we've been following for about 5 months. Now, you guys have been with me for a long time. We've done some amazing things together and covered some really important topics, and we've been the cutting edge of the gun control debate versus gun rights. And we've really been diving into, specifically on the national scale, the bills in Congress, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what are the odds, and what's happening in the Senate. Well, today I've got some progress for you. If you recall, the brief primer on what we've covered in the previous videos, you can go back over the past few months and you can catch up on all of these videos. But basically, H.R. 8 and 1446 came out and they were introduced in the House and passed and went to the Senate. Schumer did a lot of chest pounding in the Senate and said, we will absolutely vote because a vote is what we need, if you guys recall. Now, it kind of stalled, and then Blumenthal and Murphy. So Murphy is the guy who's from Connecticut, and he's been like the gun control guy, right? He's been talking with Ted Cornyn from Texas. We did a video on this last week. Failed completely. Gone. Negotiations toast. So that leaves them in a very precarious place, and that's what we're going to talk about because, guys, this is getting desperate. They're no longer trying to get Republicans to push it through over the filibuster. They're now trying to get Democrats on board just to do a show of force and unison. This is massive, and I've got everything linked in the description box below. We're going to talk about it in detail, and I want to know what you guys think. Before I get too deep into it, though, I just want to let you guys know that description box down there has a newsletter sign up. It's completely free, and I've been getting reports that you guys aren't getting my notifications on YouTube when I put out a video. So in order to aid YouTube, take some burden on myself, I'm going to send you the video links every night. So make sure you subscribe. It's completely free. It's in the description box, and get those inbox emails directly to you instead of having to wait on YouTube to algorithm. But we got it. All right, let's get into this. So the title of the article we're going to talk about tonight is Democrats Set to Pare Down Gun Control Bills and Aim for Unity. Okay? Their point man on guns is preparing for a vote on a scaled down bill aimed at uniting the party and picking up a limited number of Republican votes. Uniting the party. So we're going to do a lot of reading into what this is saying as we go through this article. Why would they need to unite the party if they had everything all together? Because they are not even unified on their own front, much less pushing on the Republican side. That's huge. Now, Senate Democrats are struggling for the total unity they need on major infrastructure and elections bills. Their gun control point man is determined to avoid that kind of quick stance, so he's trying to not fall into the same quagmire that they're in already. And this is the important part, and this is what we're going to read into really deeply, because this says a lot, guys, and it's always about the why on this channel. Instead, Democrats are preparing to vote on a scaled-down guns bill. Scaled down. Most likely a curtailed plan to boost background checks for firearm buyers. The goal is to unite the party and pick up a limited number of Republican votes, even as their effort appears headed towards the same doomed fate as previous proposals to curb gun violence. They just said in this article they're changing their tactics completely because the existing House bills are going to die and nothing's going to happen. So they're changing tactics. That's a sign of weakness. They know they're losing. This is massive. Big celebration here. Now, this next part is very crucial. Despite the all but certain GOP filibuster facing Democrats on guns, they're well aware that a unified 50-vote Senate majority is the only way to put unmitigated political pressure on their opponents. Translation: they don't even have their own party in line, so how can they put pressure on Republicans on gun control if they can't even get their own people? That's what that means. They basically can't get all 50 Democrats in unison to vote for bills that they want on gun control, so now they're having to target the Democrats rather than the Republicans. Remember how earlier on in the debate it was get the Republicans over, get over that 60-vote threshold, get past the filibuster by bringing more Republicans on board? Well, now, all of a sudden, in the end of June, it's we got to get Democrats on board just for a show of force to put pressure on Republicans. It's now a political chess piece, no longer a legislative action. Very important. But let's keep going. This is where Murphy kind of gets a little defeatist. I'm not interested in bringing a proposal to the Senate floor that can't even get 50. And the quickest way to get 50 is to keep all the Democrats together, which immediately implies that Democrats are not all together. Murphy doesn't want to put a bill on the floor which would mar the gun control push without 50, so he's not going to do it unless he can do all 50, and he's going to do it by paring down the gun control and making it almost nothing. Even then, it's going to be a show of force politically, not legislation that's going to pass. This is massive. Okay. Rather than put up House-passed bills that establish universal background checks and closing other loopholes, that's 1446 and H.R. 8, Democrats are leaning towards scheduling a vote next month on legislation increasing the number of online and gun show transactions covered by federal background checks. Unlike the House-passed gun bills, Senate Democrats are betting such legislation could unite them and even tempt Republicans to join them. So now it's we might be able to get Democrats and we might tempt Republicans. Do you see how the verbiage is changing? It's going from a position of ultimate strength and condescension to it might work. It's important. All right. This is the part in the article where they're trying to save face. This is something, when you see something like this in politics, this is just, they can't do it. They know they can't do it. They're trying to save political face. If the legislation fails as expected, a show of unity among Democrats would send an important message to the American people on where senators stand on gun control, said Senator Mazie Hirono, Democrat, Hawaii. Let's pick a few points there. If the legislation fails as expected, so they're putting this out knowing it's going to fail, why would they do that? Why would you put something out you know is going to fail and waste everyone's time? Because it's a show, dog and pony show of unity, and it would send an important message to the American people. It wouldn't send legislation, it would send a message. This is a political showpiece now. That's important. Even if senators were to strike a compromise, though, a scaled-back bill would face skepticism among gun control groups that have long fought for more stringent checks and were eager for a change under President Joe Biden won the White House. Exactly what we've been talking about. They pushed them very, very hard, but it didn't work. Interesting, kind of shows you where the world is and the United States is politically if the Democrat senators won't do something. And this is the last piece, and this is the part that is really, really a thorn in the side of the left. I know we've covered a lot, but this is crucial. There will likely be varying degrees of support in the gun violence prevention movement for a commercial sales bill as an incremental first step to addressing gun violence in all of its forms, said Christian Hain, Vice President of Policy at the gun control advocacy group Brady. That's a gun control group. Brady Gun Control, big gun control group. But it must reject any dangerous gifts to a gun lobby that puts profits over people. We accept this if it's a first step, but we will not accept a gift to the gun lobby. In other words, they're not supporting anything. So now the Democrats can't get the normal, basically centrist Democrats, but the far left gun control advocates are also not going to do it. This is incredible for you and I, and gun right advocates everywhere. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys seeing this as well as I'm seeing it? Because this is incredible news on the national scale. I look forward to seeing your comments in the field below. And until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.